This part of the test will measure your speaking ability. It will last around 20 to 30 minutes. You will answer 4 questions. The first question will be about a familiar topic. The other 3 will be about short conversations, lectures, and reading passages. You can read and hear the lectures and paragraphs only once. You will see the time available for preparing the responses as well as the time to give your response on the bottom side of the screen. You have to stay within those time limits. Speaking Task 1. You will be asked a question about a familiar topic. You will then have 15 seconds to prepare your response, and 45 seconds to speak. Some people support online teaching, saying that in the modern society it is the right way to teach kids. Do you agree or disagree? Include details and examples when stating your opinion. Prepare your response after the beep. Start speaking after the beep.
I agree with this because online studying for kids must be accompanied by their parents, so their parents can guide their kids, not just let them do it by themselves.
Speaking Task 2. You will read a short paragraph and then listen to a conversation between 2 people. You will have 50 seconds to read the paragraph. After, you will get a question about what you read and heard. You will have 30 seconds to prepare your response and then 60 seconds to give it. You have 50 seconds to read. Start reading after the beep. Now listen to the conversation between 2 people. It is great what they are planning with the change of the schedule, don't you think?
I don't. Actually, I think they are trying to trick us.
Why do you say that?
Well, the classes are not that full. They mention courses that are taken by the majority of the students. They must be referring to general psychology. I have it. The Stevens Hall where the classes are held is almost filled to capacity, but there are always several seats left.
So why do you think they are doing this?
Well, the professors complained that their salaries are low. I think the administration decided to give them extra classes in order to justify the pay raise to the Board of Trustees.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And I don't buy the story that this is done so that we can relax more.
I will actually welcome the change. Taking some classes on Friday in order to have more free time during the other days is fine by me.
Well, it's not something I will like. I really want to continue to have my extended weekend. Some classes will be moved on Friday without my choice. I hate that I will lose that free day.
I don't think it will be that bad. Maybe you will enjoy those free hours during the weekdays.
We shall see, but I am convinced that I will not be okay with this change.
The female student talks about the recent change in the schedule of the lectures. Say what is her opinion and why she has it. Prepare your response after the beep. Start speaking after the beep.
She disagreed with the change because she thought it will not help the students to learning the lessons because students need a free time after study to refresh their mind.
Speaking task 3. You will read a short paragraph about an academic topic, then listen to a lecture about it. You will have 50 seconds to read the paragraph. After, you will get a question about what you read and heard. You will have 30 seconds to prepare your response and then 60 seconds to give it. You have 50 seconds to read. Start reading after the beep. Now listen to the lecture.
Hibernation is a process which is associated with warm-blooded animals, and it's something that helps them survive the cold winter months. Let's use bears as our example for this. Just like other warm-blooded animals, bears need to maintain their own internal body temperature, and they need a lot of energy for this. To get this energy, they need to eat a lot of food. But during winter, food is scarce, so the bear would simply lower its breathing, lower its heart rate, which would lower the metabolism, and this in turn would lower the body temperature. So the bear would need less energy in order to survive. And survival is just something that would not happen if the bear would not go into this process. Hibernation is something which can last anywhere from several days all the way to several months. It depends on the species and on the environment in which this species finds itself. Before an animal starts hibernating, it needs to prepare itself. It needs to consume a lot of food because even though its energy requirements will be lower, it will still have to maintain some bodily functions in order to live.
The lecture is about hibernation. Explain why do animals hibernate as well as how they achieve this state. Use points and examples from the lecture. Prepare your response after the beep. Start speaking after the beep.
It's a way for animals to adapt to the change that comes from different weather patterns. Hibernation is done by endoderms animals that regulate their own body temperature rather than depend on the environmental source of heat. Animals that hibernate tend to eat a lot of food in the fall so that they could prepare for their long winter sleep.
You will listen to a lecture about an academic topic. After, you will get a question about what you heard. You will have 20 seconds to prepare your response and then 60 seconds to give it. Now listen to the lecture.
A monopoly is a company that is the only provider of a good or a service. This gives it a tremendous competitive advantage over the other companies that want to break into the market. Some companies become monopolies through vertical integration. Basically, they control the entire supply chain, all the way from getting the raw goods to production to retail to selling the product. Others use horizontal integration, which means that they buy up all of their competitors until they are the only ones left. No matter how we get to a monopoly, they are bad. The number one reason they are bad is because of price fixing. Simply put, because they are the only ones on the market, they can decide at what price to sell a given good or a service. And they can charge you several times more compared to the price you would pay if there were other companies providing the same thing. A monopoly can also decide to give you an inferior product. The product will have a declining quality. For example, let's talk about a chocolate factory. Let's say this chocolate factory is the only one who can sell it to us. Now they can simply decide to put less cocoa and less milk over time, and because you cannot go somewhere else to buy a chocolate, you will simply take this inferior product, this product which will become worse and worse over time. Another thing that happens when you stop having competitors is that you stop innovating, so we see a loss of innovation. A monopoly is simply not desirable.
Explain why monopolies are not a good thing for the economy. Use points and examples from the lecture. Prepare your response after the beep. Start speaking.
First, price fixing is bad because the monopoly company put higher price to product or service. Two, the quality of product get worse and worse to the time, like chocolate have less cocoa. Three, loss of innovation because no competitors. A company doesn't need innovate.